Hi, this is Dan again from CleanGuru. So today we want to talk about why sometimes prospects just don't call. Why don't they act? Why don't they raise their hand? You know, you've done everything you can, at least you feel like it. You've sent them the information, you have everything in there, it explains everything, and just why aren't they calling? Why aren't they acting? Well, a couple things. First of all, remember that prospects are people first. Prospects really are people first. They're no different than anyone else. And that leads us to the second point. People aren't logical, they're emotional. People aren't logical, they're emotional. So if those things are true, we really need to kind of gear what we do based on that. So if people don't act, maybe we haven't engaged them emotionally. And that's what we need to look at doing. So if we can weave some emotion into our marketing, you can see a much better response to your marketing, and they will act. So, for example, let's take a look at 2 or 3 quick examples. It isn't maybe enough to promote a measurable guarantee of performance. Do you remember these MGPs? So it's not enough just to promote an MGP that you'll guarantee that they won't have a no-call, no-show. And maybe you're able to do that because you monitor the hours with your timekeeping system. And that's tremendous. You can offer that MGP. That's great. But it'll work even better if you could relate a story, a painful story, to get them to understand why that's so important. You know, for example, you could explain, have you ever come into the office in the morning and no one from the cleaning company was there? The place is a disaster, the restrooms look horrible, nothing's been taken care of, and they find out that their biggest customer is visiting that plant that day or that building that day, and they're embarrassed. That pain they feel. Now let's take another look at another MGP. Let's say you have a measurable guarantee of performance that you'll respond to every customer service request other than something that needs to be scheduled, like a project that needs to be scheduled like tile. But for nearly all customer service requests, let's say you can respond within 24 hours. Well, that's tremendous, but it even means more if you can relate in a powerful emotional story. Maybe you could say, hey, you know, have you ever had an experience where you find out, building owner or manager, that you got VIPs coming the next day? So you get on the phone to the cleaning company and you say, listen, you've got to come out here and take care of all these extra duties. We have the VIPs coming tomorrow. And either the cleaning contractor says, I'm not prepared, I don't have the resources to do it, or they promise to do it and they don't because they simply aren't able to do it. Boy, are you sunk when the VIPs come the next day. Well, now that measurable guarantee means even more than before. Now it really resonates. Another example might be, there's plenty of them. You could be having MGPs about turnover, where the boss is complaining about the constant parade of new people, and you might have a MGP about turnover. You know, for example, who has the keys to the building? Emotional things like carpets ruined by improperly marked cleaners, a bowl cleaner, for example, that got on the floor. There are all these emotional buttons that if you can tie into, and then you have measurable guarantees that solve them, that can go a long way. Sometimes people, to take action, they need to clearly have the pain described to them in order to move forward. That's it for this time. Next time, we'll reveal 2 things that your prospects want to know before they'll decide to do business with you. And you can't have one and not the other. You got to have them both. I'll tell you about them next time. Until then, remember, you can do this. You really can.